Welcome, everybody, to the last 20 minutes of the day. I think it's day 3. I'm not even sure anymore. So welcome to, thank you for joining. Thanks for joining with a drink as well if you're just taking a last little break for our session. The idea for this session is we've moved to Office 365. Now what? And I want to spend, I always say that, we're going to spend a good 10 minutes on myself. My name is Benjamin Nyland. That's all. The rest doesn't matter. Let's get into the Office 365 part. So, we've moved to Office 365 and you've gone through, say, the migration checklist, right? You've planned all of this out. You have to move to Office 365. You looked it up, SharePoint migration checklist. You looked up all of these other checklists for Exchange. You got there, you've set it up, and while you were migrating, you were focusing on reducing the time it takes to get there. You want the migration to happen as fast as possible, and you want to have as little errors as possible. So what happens when we go to Office 365? We tend to stay in this mode. We go from on-premises, whatever it is that you're using on-premises. You have your servers, you have Exchange server, you have SharePoint server, you have Office, and everything is top-down, few of everything. Everything is controlled. No one can just create whatever they want. You control the server updates, you control the deployment, the training, the change management, and so you move to Office 365, but really you're in online, right? You're still saying Exchange online, or SharePoint online, or Office online. What that means is we're exactly like we were before, but we just moved and somebody else is paying for the servers. And of course, we get faster updates, better security. We switch to a different licensing model. So we just pay every month instead of the big budget one time. But you still just moved. And we're not really leveraging all of Office 365. That's not me. It's not a picture of me. Everybody asks. It's not me. So now what, right? So we moved. Everything is as it was before. Maybe you added a couple of things, but now what? And this is when you hear Microsoft talking about the modern workplace. We're really talking about a multitude of things. We're talking about a transformation. I know it sounds like a buzzword. I feel like I'm in a keynote. It's time to transform to the modern workplace, folks. But really what it is adopting different ways of working with technology to reinvent how we work in the organization. Right now, a lot of CIOs, a lot of organizations are kind of looking at everything and do we still need that? Is there a new or different forms tool, or should I just use that? So everybody's kind of relooking at all of their processes and leveraging technology, especially in the cloud, to get the work done. And for us, going from on-prem, and then we just looked, can I do the migration in 1 weekend? Can I do it in 3 months? How do I minimize our errors? We moved online, and now we're looking and facing a completely different world. And when we're looking at this, we're talking about self-service. We're talking about working across products. One major mistake that we make often is we're still talking about individual products. In fact, I've done the same mistake myself. Oh, good, I got the new SharePoint communication sites. Let's see if I can do something in there. And that's the wrong way to think about it. But I'll get to that in a few seconds. So modern workplace is really about leveraging these other things. My favorite slides, I always have it. It's the best. Now, this is a slide directly from Microsoft, but I absolutely love it because it really shows something that we're going to have to prepare next. We're going from top down to a more organic place of work, leveraging technology to connect everyone together. So instead of just pushing information down and then hoping that it rolls back up, we're really just connecting everyone and everything inside of our company. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to talk about them, so during the recording, please blank the customer's name. Well, hopefully it'll stay as a note. I love this customer, bank in Iceland. And instead of looking at the technology, they built a new office. And they said, instead of building an office that is also top-down, let's completely change how we build the office so that it also enables organic work. So you ready for this one? No one has their own desk. You think you're in, wow, it's a bank, regulations, the people working there. Whatever you're imagining, that's exactly that. I walked in there and they just go to whatever desk is available. The reason is so you go work with the people you need to work this week. I'm working on a big project for the next 2 months. I'm going to go work with them. Whoever, marketing, finance, there's not a finance department or a finance manager. Yes, there are, but not the way we sit. It's completely organic. And then they looked at technology from Azure, from Office 365 to enable this new way of work. But let's go back down to moving to Office 365, now what? These are the main 4 steps that I tend to see when we're looking at the next phase. Because it's not going to happen overnight. And no one really is in full modern workplace mode with everything free and everything self-service and everything cross-product. How's everybody doing? Still good? Thank you for staying in the last 20 minutes. I appreciate it. First, you need to go from classic to modern. And I'm not talking about just the little SharePoint switch. I'm talking about a lot of things that I'm about to dive into. In fact, we're going to dive into this one a lot. It's classic to modern in the way you work, the way you manage. Are you still going to the SharePoint Admin Center and working with one product? It's not how it's going to be anymore. Forget the individual products. Forget the classic way of doing IT. But look at new ways, and we'll get to that in the rest of the presentation. Switching from technology-driven to intent-driven. We like to hate on Office 365 groups a lot, but the whole idea is that we're not forcing people into a square. Hey team, what are you trying to do? And we'll give you whatever tools you need to get it done. I in IT cannot tell the person in the field, you have to use a team site, you have to use this mailbox, you have to use this public folder, and that's how we organized it. I can't. I don't know this anymore. I have to make sure that I give them the technology that they need. And the same thing's going to happen when we're going to get to governance. It's going to be intent-driven. What is the intent of the project, of the team that is working on it? What is the intent of the department, of the individual users? When they ask you, I want a new team site, you don't just give them a team site. What are they trying to do? Because maybe what they needed was completely different, but they think it's a team site. So it's a lot of changes there. Thinking about governance across multiple products and stepping outside of your independent product. There cannot be an Exchange admin and a SharePoint admin in the future. There can only be a productivity suite admin with expertise. I'm the Exchange expert, but it will always be cross-product. So it is very difficult to step away from. And then lastly, I'll talk about going from being an IT team to becoming more of a product team. It sounds weird, but a lot of the IT teams that I'm meeting, CIOs as well, we're trying something different. We're trying to switch from being IT to thinking as if you're a product team. You're a software vendor, and your customer is your end user. So instead, start looking into how do these product people build software for customers? How do they get feedback? How do they iterate quickly to spend less? Because now IT is becoming a service provider. Microsoft's doing a fantastic job with Office 365. We saw the release. So now you're becoming an IT that gives a service And you got to start thinking as that service being the product that you're selling to your end users. So let's dive into it because I only have 20 minutes. First, obviously, there's classic SharePoint. When we're talking about classic SharePoint, we're talking about this look and feel of SharePoint. And when we're talking about modern SharePoint, we're talking about this look and feel of SharePoint that is completely different, that just completely reset everything. But you cannot just press a button and switch to this. And before you go and move to Office 365 and want to start adopting Teams, for example, you need to start fixing that first. And what I mean by that, and here's some few things that are gone, but they're different. When you're switching from classic to modern, there's no more ribbon. There's certain things that are not like they were before, but we're not even using them really. So we're really making a switch. In terms of customizations, instead of torturing one product, torturing SharePoint, and saying, yeah, you can be a designer of workflows, you can be InfoPath, you can be a forms maker, you can be all No. SharePoint is content services. It's where you store your content, but you have to put it in modern to be able to benefit from the new way of work. In the modern side of things, we're leveraging not SharePoint, but other products that are specialized in this. Microsoft Flow is not about SharePoint. They probably don't even care about SharePoint. It's about automating your business across all your SaaS products. You may be using Salesforce, you might be using Dynamics, you might be using Trello, you might be using Planner, but your business is running. And the little thing that automates just little SharePoint things because you try to fit everything into technology doesn't work. So the next step is really starting to adopt these other things. But you can't just switch, as I mentioned earlier. You can't just say, yeah, I'm going modern. What's next, Benjamin? Let's move on to the next things. Why? I know, we're going flat. I know, it seems a little bit. But basically, and this is going to be your next challenge. If you just move to Office 365, your next challenge is going flat in terms of architecture, because that's the new way of things. It's not a top-down build vertically. It's leave it completely flat. However, subsites in SharePoint cannot be converted to modern. Groups can only work with top-level sites, so teams and all of that. And you need to rethink to use hubs instead. Now, I'm not going to go into technicalities here, but the first thing you need to think of now, and you're connected to your mailboxes now, you're connected to everything in your productivity suite, you have to think of an architecture that is completely flat physically, but it doesn't mean that logically, using hyperlinks, using the newly announced mega menus, that you can make people think like there's a top-down structure, just not physically. But that's a challenge in itself. How are you going to go flat? There isn't any easy ways, to be honest. Some of the ways is, of course, creating from scratch, using the copy buttons or the new flows to copy everything over, or just recreating things yourself. Another way is simply to use third-party tools, but you don't have many options in this scenario. When we're talking about intent-driven, this is the first example Microsoft gave us. This is my second favorite slide, is what an Office 365 group is. You've got an Azure AD object where people are stored, and it automatically creates all these products. If as a customer you think, oh, no, we're not using modern SharePoint, we're not going there yet, but we really love Teams and it's really picking up in our company, miss something. Every time you create any of these products now, they create all of these other products at the same time. You're no longer just creating a team site. You're no longer just creating a Power BI workspace. You're no longer just creating a planner or a group mailbox. It always comes together because it's about the intent of the team and not forcing them into one product. this is actually Microsoft's vision of that flat world. And the reason for it is because you can easily rechange everything. The blue circles, let me go again, they're actually Office 365 groups, so they have tons of products inside of it. But you can easily reorganize and restructure everything later on when you have mergers, acquisitions. You can just change it out because it was flat and everything was logical. The next thing you need to do is you need to change how you do governance. We used to be very product focused, but if you take a look at the new admin centers, that's not where you do your governance. It tells you all your sites. It gives you some reports, most active sites, largest sites, not really used sites. You have some sharing settings. I want anonymous. I don't want anonymous. But really, what you need to do is very quickly, today, yesterday, you need to switch to security and compliance, Microsoft Office 365 Admin Center. You need to quickly go broad and go meet that Exchange admin or go meet that SharePoint admin in your company. You can't stay enemies anymore, right? Can't do those pranks anymore. I know I used to do that a lot with the Exchange guy, but now we're friends. His name's Tony Redman. Always tons of issues before. So now we're talking about applying, separating from products, the whole governance. It's even called data governance. It takes care of classification of the intent of your user. They have a project. What are they trying to do? We're trying to acquire a new company. Is that classified? Yeah, it's classified. So it's not just about the SharePoint admin doing some restrictions. It's the whole the communications, the emails, everything across the board. That's why now we've abstracted everything outside. You go to the Security and Compliance Center. The first thing you're going to do is create those policies, those labels that you can apply at the entire group level or at the document level if you must. You can automate it using search. So if it picks up a document or a word, it'll apply it automatically for you. The magic happening here is amazing, but we need to step out of that singular product methodology. Here's what I recommend you do. Now, you can do whatever you want, of course. This is just advice. First, modernize. This is bigger than classic SharePoint to modern. It's about the subsites. Yes, it's about going intent-driven with groups, explaining it to users, of course. It's about changing how we do IT. And what I mean by that is we have to start measuring what we do. Analytics is not for the business user. It's for us as well. It's about small iterations. Don't wait 6 months to deploy a site. No one may be using it. Continue in small batches. Plan provisioning. Before you even go towards self-service full on, how are people going to create new stuff? Is it going to be completely open right away? No, start planning it out. And there's some really interesting stuff with this. Make sure you've got Power Apps, Flow. You can go towards Azure Functions to automate a lot of this so that you can say this can be created automatically, but for these reasons, this will not. You have tons of flexibility there. The next thing I recommend is a way to prevent sprawl. We've seen it before in file shares. We've seen it before in older versions of Exchange, mailboxes, and SharePoint. You want to make sure that one day you're not going to wake up and there's 1 million sites everywhere, right? Who's going to take care of this? The recommendation is you have from PowerShell scripts. There's reports that are available from Microsoft. If you have Azure AD Premium, you can create expiration policies. You have retention policies. And once again, I come back to creating labels in the Security and Compliance Center, because they're the ones that apply the retention policies as well, that can kick off a workflow, a flow. Think about the cross-product governance. What can people do across the products that you have inside of your group, inside of your productivity suite? And finally, you can look at enabling Microsoft Teams, because Microsoft Teams, awesome. And I'm not saying that because it's the big buzz right now. I'm saying that as soon as you put it in, it's going to skyrocket in usage inside of your company. Are you prepared for that moment? because it is great. It has our telephony in there. It has our meetings. It connects to SharePoint. It has tabs. It has connectors. Automates a lot of these things. You want to enable it, but you want to be ready for it because it's a cross-product thing. Teams technically is just a chat tool, but it does so much more and brings so much more together. The last thing I will tell you to do before I go over, which apparently I have already by 0 minutes, make owners accountable. I don't mean responsible. I don't mean they're the new IT. I mean the owners have to be accountable. If they're going to have self-service and they can create whatever they want, we have to find ways where we can bring it together. Bring IT and the consumer, the customers, the end users closer together. Because if self-service is on and they can do sharing directly in a Word document, who's going to validate all of this? Apparently it's close to finish. One last slide. He's waiting for me as well. 2 recommendations for you. As IT, the 2 things I will leave you with. Changing mindset. Look at something called jobs to be done. We use it internally. Love it. Stop focusing on personas or your end users or the typical, person from marketing. What are people's jobs that they're trying to get done? If you figure that out, and there's a free book that you can get at this URL, go download it in the flight back, in the train back, read it. You focus on what people in your organization are trying to get done. You're not IT, you're a product team. You provide a service. You need to understand your end users to deliver the right product, the right value. You are still accountable for that. And the last thing is, of course, start researching this, productschool.com. There's tons of things you can look at that, yes, they're talking about product teams, but can be applied to you as an IT. Thank you very much. I do have a URL where you can download a magazine if you're interested that has tons of content, including from Microsoft field engineers as well, to give you as much as you can from these 20 minutes. Thank you. Have an awesome evening.